What's happening, everybody, and welcome to CFC Fan TV. Remember, we are on Patreon. If you want to follow us on there, you can. The link is in the description below. Now, we have a massive match tomorrow night against Wolverhampton Wanderers away. They've been iffy at the moment, but they started the season brilliantly, didn't they?
Yeah, of course. I actually went up pre-season before they came up to the Premier League for Channel 4, and I had to ask them where they think they'll finish this season. They were all saying they think they're going to get Europe, so I think that's a little bit too hasty, but they're not a bad team, are they? They've come up and they've done actually half decent, I think.
Yeah, they've done very well. I mean, I think their start shocked a lot of people. I didn't find it too surprising.
They've got a lot of investment now, haven't they?
Yeah, Fosun. There's a company called Fosun who are a huge Chinese, like multinational corporation who are very well plenished when it comes to the financial services. So yeah, they the wolf is not at the door for them. They have a lot of money. They've spent wisely. They've got George Mendes himself involved. So, Mr. Football is involved with Wolves, and that's how they've managed to make such brilliant acquisitions. Rui Patricio, Ruben Neves is fantastic, João Moutinho is a great player. They've got some really, really brilliant Portuguese talent, and they started this season, they hit the ground running, but they're off form at the moment. So it's a good time to be playing them. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it would be. I think our win at the weekend obviously helped us, but if we're going to talk about Fulham just slightly, I mean, everyone in the ground was getting very frustrated. I sit in the shed operates a lot of season ticket holders, and although we won the game 2-0, we kept a clean sheet, our performance actually wasn't that great, and it was only till LOFTUS came on that we really looked like we were winning the game confidently, because before that it was very dull. We made a lot of mistakes. I thought it was pretty sloppy, if I'm being honest.
Do you know, sloppy, I don't think you're wrong, but I think it's a harsh appraisal. I
think a 2-0 win with a clean sheet you would think was quite a solid win, and actually that doesn't really tell the story of how it was.
I don't think the scoreline reflects the game. I think that is true. But I don't think I would use the word sloppy. What I would say is it just felt flat.
Yeah, it was boring. We were all bored.
So, I mean, in the stadium, I was sitting in a different part of the grounds where I usually sit. I was sitting in the middle of the East Middle, like Ken Bates' old director's box. I was in there for that one. So I had an incredible view, and I was sitting directly above the managers. So it was a fascinating thing to see, and to watch Claudio Ranieri strolling the touchline. But kind of looking around, aside from a relatively well-animated Fulham end, it was just flat.
Yeah.
And I don't quite know how we rectify that.
Well, no, I mean, Fulham were up for it, weren't they? This is a game they would want to win. We're actually quite compassionate towards Fulham, I think.
Yeah.
Although we are,
Yeah, it's a weird hatred. It must be so boring for them. Imagine hating someone that much who quite like you.
Yeah, it's quite weird.
Desperately trying to start a fight, desperately trying to have this rivalry.
Yeah.
Like,
but I just think that I wouldn't go into this Wolverhampton game away confident. I mean, I've been to Wolves away quite a few times. My dad lives up there. Their fans are very, very feisty, I have to say.
It's a loud ground.
Yeah, really loud ground.
Molyneux's a beautiful old ground as well.
Yeah, it's nice. But I would say, actually, I think they've got more of a chance to win than us do. And I don't want to be... Yeah, I do. I don't want to be rude, guys. I don't want to be rude. But if there's anything to go by what I saw, and bear in mind Fulham at the bottom of the table, I am a little bit worried, Raw.
I think look, I understand where your concern comes from. I think with the players that they have, they can beat... they've had some very good performances this year. They were unlucky not to beat Manchester United, I thought, at Old Trafford. So they definitely have a big result in them. But we'll beat Wolves.
I bloody well hope so.
We will beat Wolves. And I know how we're going to do that. We are going to start Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
We are going to start Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
It can't be Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic again. It just can't be.
Yeah, I mean, before he scored his goal, although I think that was a nice link-up play between the few of them, Loftus-Cheek sort of ran through the middle of the field and crossed it into Hazard, I think. And it was sort of his play before his actual goal. You could see him coming on really made a difference in the team. And actually, I quite like he's displaying a lot of confidence this season, isn't he? I think he knows that he can't just expect to just be in the starting line. I don't see any nursery at all.
No, I think he's matured. I think going to the World Cup with England and playing as well as he did, I think has contributed massively to his presence. I think he now is the complete midfielder. I really do. And I think that we have a brilliant trio in that midfield. But there is no way that we can leave Ruben Loftus-Cheek out of it again. He's the only one who has an eye for a goal. He's literally the only one.
Yeah, and I think as Charlie, I keep getting you mixed up here.
Yeah, Charlie. This needs to stop.
As Charlie said, he doesn't think Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante, especially with the way Kante works together. Actually, I don't necessarily completely agree with him, but I think at the weekend I definitely saw signs of that. And when Loftus-Cheek came on, it sort of, I don't know, it just sort of, it worked, gelled well together. Yeah, and it sort of flowed a little bit more, and at the end of the day, what more has he got to do to prove himself?
Yeah, completely. I mean, I think that he definitely deserves a chance. Needs to be a meritocracy. He came on the other day, he played well, he scored a goal, now he starts against Wolves. And that, for me, is essential. I think also, Pedro needs to keep his place.
100,000% to come in. What did I say?
He said it's
100,000%.
100,000%.
Well, isn't that true? Rory, don't make a statement and tell me that wrong. It's true.
It's incorrect. I mean, I don't want to get into this now, but it's incorrect.
100,000%.
100%.
100,000%.
No such thing.
He should be starting.
He should be starting.
I love
100%.
Pedro. His goal was fantastic, I thought, at the weekend. I thought it was going to be 5-0 when he came on and did that, but obviously it went.
I thought that. I said exactly that. So the bloke I was sitting next to, he was betting throughout the game.
Yeah.
And as soon as that one went in, I was like, oh mate, lump 5.
Yeah,
Don't know what I'm talking
but no,
about.
Pedro does need to start. I think he suits Sarri's system very well. I think he suits it obviously more than Willian does, because
I agree.
That's what we're seeing so far. And for me, actually, what are you going to say about David Luiz? I think we have to discuss it slightly. The only problem for me here is that if there was another stat, I mean, if you look at, for instance, when Bakayoko was here and he was responsible for, I don't know, X amount of whatever, David Luiz is responsible for 64% of the goals we've conceded by himself alone. That's not the defensive line, that's just himself. So to keep him in the team, I just think is slightly bizarre.
The trouble is, though,
for the rest of them. No, but I
do you know
don't
where
really
the
care.
issue? Do you know where the issue comes? I completely agree that he needed to be dropped after Tottenham, but since Tottenham, he's played and kept a clean sheet. And therefore the timing. I think Christensen deserves a chance in that place. I really do. And I said that when we were talking about a preview for Fulham. But I think it would be weird now, having played a game, gone back to the old system, won with the system. It would be weird to shake it up now. Am I right?
I don't know. I see a lot of inconsistency. I think yes, we kept a clean sheet against Fulham, who are bottom of the league. I don't think that's something to brag about, although I think it's a great 3 points. And I think going to Wolverhampton away is going to be a little bit more difficult, if I'm being honest. I think they're going to be up for it. Again, don't forget, we're going to be quite tired. I think also Surrey's going to be looking ahead to the weekend Man City. That's a huge game.
Well, that's why we might need to rotate. So perhaps we will see it. Do you know another one actually, Sophie? How do you feel about this? Well, like I mentioned where I was sitting, so obviously I had the privilege of watching Marcos Alonso down my line. That was his worst 45 minutes I think he's ever had in a Chelsea shirt.
Well, Costa come on, didn't he?
Exactly. We brought on a right back to replace a left back and then do some juggling with the players that were on the pitch. Marcos Alonso, everybody knows, and I get a lot of grief about how much I like him, and I think he's brilliant. But is it time to perhaps give him a rest?
Maybe. Do you know what
Who starts against Wolves?
Well, you know what you said to me, and also what Charlie said to me. I was going to say Rory again then. What was wrong with me? He said that obviously Sarri only uses a fair few amount of players during his season. With the Premier League, with Chelsea, it's very, very difficult to do that because you have so many games, so many important games.
And we're in all the competitions. We're fighting a war on four fronts.
When hasn't Alonso started? He's been in most of the team lineups, hasn't he?
Palmieri's played a couple of games here and there, but you're right.
I mean, most of the team lineups. So I wouldn't be surprised that his form is slipping a little bit. He's going to naturally be knackered, and he has a very difficult job. You know, he's a defensive player, but he's also asked to come forward. So I think that he has a more tougher job than what, say, Rudiger would do, for instance.
I agree. So, we've debated it, and here is our team that is going to beat Wolves. It's up now. But yeah, so I think this team will do it. And what you'll notice from that team is we have started Olivier Giroud. This, to me, now is just non-negotiable. I really just can't even hear a case for Alvaro Morata to start. You're not going to make one, are you?
No, I'm not due. No, I won't. No, I'm not due. No, I won't do. But one thing I will notice about Giroud is when he was icing the shut upper, and a lot of his chances were coming this way. So I would say every time he missed it, he looked really, really frustrated with himself.
I don't think he had a particularly good game.
Nah.
But Alvaro Morata came on. He missed.
Oh, did you see that?
I saw it. Sadly, I saw it. He missed, and then he petulantly got himself booked. It's just becoming.
All he has to do on that miss as well is take one touch.
All he has to do is knock it in the net with his first touch.
Yeah, I know, but apparently it hit. Did you see on Match of the Day? They said it's gone into the upper tier.
Did it?
Kicked it into the upper tier, yeah. So even our cameraman's laughing. Now listen, we don't want to be mean. Giroud has to start. That's the end of it.
You don't think we're going to win?
I didn't say I don't think we're going to win, did I?
You did. You almost definitely did.
I said, okay, that maybe was a little bit harsh.
I think we're going to win. Let us know. Who do you agree with? Do you think Sophie's going to be correct? Or do you think I'm going to be correct? And so there we have it. Sophie thinks this is going to be a really tough game and we may not get a victory. I'm actually quite confident of a victory. I think Wolves have been great, but they're in dodgy form, and I think we will capitalise on that.
I love that, Rory. I love the spirit there. I love the confidence in you.
Thank you.
And I also think that we have a good chance of winning if we're completely on form and don't display performances like the last two.